Hello, my friend. Let's get started. We're going to talk about transposition today, how anyone can transpose a piece of music to anywhere they want to. But we're going to talk specifically about the song called In My Life. John Lennon wrote it, Beatles. So it goes something like this. Right? You remember that? That's not exactly it, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. This song was written in the key of A. And I have found that to be a little hard to do. To play it that way because they're bar chords. A chord. It doesn't look that hard, does it? Let me turn my camera down a little bit. There. I don't have a fancy camera like Bob. I have to do it with my hand. If I was down here, I'd have to do it like that. I don't really like that. And so I figured out a way to play In My Life in the key of G. And there we go. So you can play it in the key of G. Now, it's in my book in the key of G, and yesterday I put it into the key of A in case you want to play it in exactly the same key that the Beatles wrote it. Hey, I can play a version of this with a capo, or at least I could. Ha! Bob has all the fancy stuff, Dwayne says. Yes. Okay, so you can take, well, we'll talk about this in just a second. So one of the things you can do, now let's look at my lead sheet, which you can find in my book. Here's the lead sheet. So you can see right here that we've got, in the key of G, you've got a G chord going to a D, G to D, and then there are places I remember all my life, though some have changed. Okay, so that's how it goes. So I'm playing it in the key of G. Now, do you know your musical scale? Let's get out the musical scale here. Let's look at it. Where is it at? In my book, you'll see something like this. Now, what I've done here is I've actually taken this scale out between G and A, but this is what it looks like basically. You've got a C major scale on the top there, right here. Then you got a G major scale and you have an A major scale. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the G major scale into the A major scale. And this is how we do it. If you got a G chord, well, let's go back even farther. Let's pull up just a blank sheet here and we're going to write on it. So the G scale starts with a G. Oops. Now, do you know your musical scale after the note G? Let me turn that up. There we go. Now you can hear it. Is the note A, and then B, C, D, E, F, G, but that doesn't sound like a major scale. Do, do. I'll show you what that is. So I'm going to write out the notes. After G comes A. That's what it looks like. I'm going to get rid of myself here so you can see the scale really good on the paper there. Maybe I should just bring it down. I'll bring myself back in. Okay, so between B, now when you go from G, oops, there's your G note. And where's my tuner? Where'd it go? There it is. Here's my tuner. I'm going to put my tuner on. I don't know if you can see my tuner, but you can do this with your own tuner. G, and then A is 2 frets above G. B, do, re, mi, is 2 frets above A. C is 1 fret, so let's put a little mark here between B and C. I'm going to call that a half step mark. B and C is right next to each other. A, B, C, D. No, G, A, B, C. What am I saying? Okay, now from C to D is 2 frets. We're good there. D to E is 2 frets. Uh-oh. F? F is only 1 fret away. If I play that scale, listen to it. Wait, that's wrong. Let's see. No, that's right. No, that's not right. That's it. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. That doesn't sound like a major scale because it needs to sound like this. Right? The last 2 notes are right next to each other. But F is on the 10th fret. And the note we need is right next to the G. So what we do is we play A, B, C, D, E. I'm sorry, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. You have to make that F go up. Oops, wrong side. So now that half step is in the right place. Like that. Now let's go down to the key of A. Now, what we have to do, I'm going to use it on my A string. What I'm doing is I'm playing the scale, the major scale, and what you do is you go play open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Like that. The problem is these are not all natural notes. A to B is 2 frets. B to C is 1 fret, but we need to go to C sharp. So we play A, B, C sharp. And then D, E, F sharp, and then G sharp, and then A. These are the 2 scales. That's your A scale, here's your G scale. Let's line those up a little bit better. There, they're more in line now. Okay, so let's look at that other sheet I had. This one right here. Why isn't that moving? Let me take that off the screen so I can figure it out. There we go. So what I do, let's go back to the lead sheet also. Now what I need to do here is I need to change my G chord, if I want to put it into the key of A, to the key of A, because it's in the, that's what I want to do, is I want to change A, G to A. There are places I'll remember, right? Instead of there are places I'll remember. The reason I'm doing this is because I have it in the key of G, but I want to put it in the key of A for those people that want to play along with the recording without a capo. We'll get to the capo thing in just a minute, like Dwayne was talking about. So if I want to change it into the key of A from G, what I do is I go to my scales, like this, and I'm going to it's not drawing for some reason. There we go. It's not working. Well, anyway, I want to go straight down. G's turn into A's. The next chord is D. D's, I'm looking at this one right here. Maybe it would be better to look here. D's turn into E's. Can you see that? So the D chord, if it's a D chord, we just go straight down and we turn it into an E chord. The E minor chord in the key of G will turn into F sharp minor, because E turns into F sharp. So E minor will turn into F sharp. The C chord will turn into a D chord, right? And that's how we do that. We look at our two scales and we go straight down. So the G turns into an A. If we have a C chord, turns into a D chord. The D chord turns into an E. The E minor turns into an F sharp minor. And you can just do that on your paper. I'm going to bring this up right here. Now, I just have these two notes, this scale, the G scale and the A scale, written out for you there. And whatever the chord is, if it's an E minor chord, it changes into an F sharp minor chord. If it's an A minor chord, it changes into a B minor chord. If it's a G chord, it changes into an A chord. So you just go straight down. And you can do that on the sheet, that's the major scale sheet in my book. And it's in the back somewhere. Page 400 and something. You can just look it up in the index. Okay, so that's what happens. Now let's look at this for a second. I don't like that because I don't necessarily like the tone. And I have a tendency to do that move like that when I'm playing bar chords. I want something a little more smooth. right? From G to D instead of A to E. But guess what? Because G and A are 2 frets away from each other, here's a G note, and then 2 frets up is an A note. What we do is we want it, if we're playing in the key of G but we want it to be in the key of A, we just take our capo and put it on the 2nd fret, because A is 2 notes up from G, and we go like that, right? G chord to a D. This is with the capo. Sounds just like our bar chords. But I really like the open sound, like that, because that open sound, I don't know, it just sounds more free, right? Sounds about right there, doesn't it? Right there, I can have these notes open. Right there. There's our E chord. Now this is an E chord with a capo. Listen to that buzz. Let's just put this on a little bit tighter. Still buzzing. A little bit tighter. There we go. Can you hear the difference in that? I really like the open position chord there. See, it has a different tonality. Timbre is one of the words we can use. You can also call it a timbre. Look it up in the dictionary. You can say timbre or timbre. I kind of like timbre. So, if you want to play it in the key of A, put a capo on the 2nd fret and just play that chord, which is actually a G chord. It looks like a G, but it's actually an A chord because of the capo. I like to sing it without the capo, just a little bit lower in my voice. There are places, right? Wait, what's the next one? I don't remember what the next chord is. Oh, I know what it is. It goes like this. That's right, that's that chord. Anyway, if you want to learn how to play this song, I do have a video about it. I didn't put it in the description yet. I could put it in the description. Maybe I'll do that when I have my chat with my friends and my supporters and that kind of thing, and we're going to do that right after this live stream. I'm going to check, right now I'm going to check the chat and see what's going on. Let's see. Let's see. Dean, I may start a GoFundMe to get a capo someday. Bob, let's see. There we go. Well, okay. Hello, Lisa. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I don't see anything that I need to react to or to talk about. There is one thing I want to say. I've been a little bit, well, this morning, as soon as I started my chat here, this live stream, I felt pretty good. But yesterday, it hit me pretty hard that Charlie Kirk passed away, that he was assassinated. Some people say that he was martyred. Very sad. Very, very sad. Anyway, I wanted to just mention that really quickly. And so, anyway, come and see me at the chat right after this. If you don't know how to do that, look in the description and you can see how to engage with me in the chat, you can join up at Patreon or Subscribestar, or make a donation over at PayPal and get on my email list. You can get on my email list even if you're on PayPal or Subscribestar if you want to. Yeah, Dwayne says it's very disturbing, the killing. And I agree. All right, thank you very much for being here. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, put them in the chat and I will answer them right now. Because this is actually a little bit shorter live stream than I usually do, but that's okay. I was watching David Bennett piano just the other day, and he talks about how he deals with copyright issues, and that's why I'm not playing everything all the way through and singing and all that kind of stuff, because we get copyright issues. Sometimes when we play a song, certain corporations block the video, or they take it down, or they just take all the ad money. So that's one reason why I don't always play the song when I'm doing a video. I have done cover videos before, and actually I did a cover video of an Eagles song and they gave me a copyright strike. It's like, what? Come on, you guys. That's crazy. I got rid of that, by the way. But it just seems kind of crazy that, you know, certain corporations want to block videos. Let's see. Bob says, join us if and when you can. Lurking is permitted. Chatting is encouraged here. Yes, you can chat. You can tell us where you're from. There's a couple people I don't see here in the chat, but, you know, I'd love to see you. I know that there are people from Ireland and from England and from different places in the world, all over the United States. Anyway, thank you for coming, and we will talk later, okay, everyone? Let's see. I think I'm going to go out here with this. Recognize that chord progression?